boldness of Pennsylvania is something to be amazed about. Pennsylvania is the 9th densest state of the U.S., but that's mostly because of Philadelphia. When you travel outside of Philadelphia and some other major cities like Pittsburgh, you have a few other major settlements, and that's where you actually have real exit numbers. But here you don't. There is not a single rest stop for over 70 kilometers on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And there are places where it's many kilometers in between exits. The first exit coming out of here is exit 10, showing that it's 16 kilometers from the border with Ohio. The United States is actually pretty rural, with around 85 people per square kilometer, which, if you think about it, isn't that much, meaning that there's a lot of places where nobody lives, although there are a lot of dense urban conglomerations. Right now, we are around due north of the Outer Banks in North Carolina and due south of around Ottawa. There isn't that much to do here because on the Delaware River there's always a lot of roads and stuff because you're in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. When you leave that, there's not really that much till Carlisle, which is pretty much just as far from here as Philadelphia is, meaning that we're over an hour away from major settlements. I mean, you do have Harrisburg, which is also a pretty major settlement, but between Harrisburg and Carlisle, but the Pennsylvania Turnpike doesn't pass directly through Harrisburg. It does go directly through Carlisle. The ruralness of some parts of the United States is something to be impressed of. There's entire stretches of US 17 in South Carolina where for 30 minutes there's literally nothing. And this is also one of those places where it's just a bunch of cable lines. The reason why you see cable lines here that stretch on forever is because that's one of the few houses that there is here. Cows are raised here, meaning that, like in upstate New York, you can get a hunting permit, but not in New York City because while there is deer, it's illegal to hunt the deer. This is the first exit sign in a while, exit 286. Before this, the last exit was 298. Now you see how big of a deal it is, because there's nothing around here. It's just like a bunch of haystacks and tumbleweed and a major road that cuts through it all, because ultimately you do need to get to the airport if you do live in rural America and you want to travel. But the next nearest major airport is Harrisburg. So, yep, that's it. Vlog over. Goodbye.